For all of that, our first guest today, Conor Maynard, was once called the British Bieber. He skyrocketed to fame in 2012, earning an army of fans and 5 top 10 singles.
But over the last year, Conor has been engulfed in a paternity scandal after Charlotte Chilton, who starred in the second series of The Traitors, publicly claimed that Conor was the father of the then unborn baby.
Charlotte gave birth to daughter Penelope in October last year, and in March this year, Conor took a DNA test to prove he's not the father.
And following what he's called the worst year of his life, Conor is finally ready to share his side of the story. Thanks for joining us, pal.
That is OK. Thank you for having me.
Firstly, straight off the bat, why is now the right time to speak about this?
Well, my mum doesn't really understand the internet, so she measures my success based on my TV appearances. So I felt like it'd been long enough. It'd been about a few years now, and I think that she needed me to be on here to basically so she could stop calling me a has-been and kind of and understand that Mum, I still release music. No, I'm joking, but I think realistically, one of the main reasons I felt like right now was the right time to speak about it was because, you know, as you already said, the last year's been really difficult, and mental health is something that I've struggled with for a big portion of my life. And obviously this most recent year has been definitely up there in terms of my experience and my battle with it. And I've never really shied away from that in the sense of, you know, my fans who follow me online and on social media, I've spoken about it openly before. And obviously I've even, like today, I've released a brand new song which kind of like goes quite deeply into my battle with anxiety. And obviously there have been a lot of things that have happened, and there's a lot of things that have contributed to kind of why things have been so difficult. And I think it felt like now that I've managed to kind of create this song and put it into words, I guess, how I've been feeling more recently, it felt like, well, if I'm going to be able to sing about it, I might as well be able to talk about it as well.
OK, well, listen, it has been a tough year for you. Let's go back to the beginning where this all started, where the tough year actually started. You met Charlotte at the Traitors party, is that right?
Right, yeah.
You had an encounter with her, one-night stand, and then when did it start to go downhill for you? So,
I think what was probably one of the most difficult aspects of the entire situation was it was so kind of shocking to me how it seemed like there was such a failure from the public, and also sometimes even from the press, to require proof before condemning me for something that obviously ultimately ended up being false and being not true. And even more importantly, which was like very difficult to understand, was that more importantly than me, there was this child at the heart of this entire situation who will one day grow up and be able to see this, she'll be able to see this for herself. And it was just very difficult to kind of understand that this was all happening without anyone really knowing the true story, or anyone really knowing whether or not it was completely true. And I think what was difficult for me was, instinctively you want to defend yourself. You want to be able to speak your side, but I didn't know what was true and what was not. I didn't know. I didn't know.
And did you try and contact Charlotte privately?
We'd obviously spoken, but at the same time, it's like I think she was pregnant, that she was going to give birth for the first time. And
did she tell you before she told the press?
So I was aware of the situation before. However, I had no idea that it was going to go to the press. I didn't know that any of that was going to happen. In my mind, it was like, well, obviously the natural proceeding would to be a paternity test to basically make sure that everything is 100% certain, and then obviously we deal with it accordingly. And obviously that's not the way it went. And I think it was difficult to remain silent
Especially with social media, trial by social media, it's like pressure, and you're looking at all this stuff.
I instantly was painted as a deadbeat dad and that kind of thing, and it was all of my comments across all of my social media was very much all about that. And as I said, instinctively, you want to defend yourself, you want to tell your side of the story, but I also felt like it wasn't right to speak on it until I knew the truth myself. And I didn't want to force that. You know, I obviously research paternity tests and that kind of thing, and I know that it can be considered dangerous for a child that isn't born yet, and also when they're very early in life. So obviously I was kind of just waiting and allowing that decision to come from the other side.
So you did remain with that dignified silence throughout, and you know, what was it like to have that constant, relentless speculation on your character?
Well, one thing I do want to make abundantly clear, and I've addressed this before, is that one thing I don't want people to get misconstrued is that, you know, this caused a brand new mental breakdown or anything like that. Whereas, obviously, as I said, anxiety is something I've struggled with for a long time, and I had anxiety and mental health struggles long before this situation took place. Obviously, at the same time, I can imagine it didn't help. But yeah, it was very difficult. You know, you want to set the record straight. You want to kind of clear your name, as you know, that's one of the main things you want to do. And when I finally revealed the results of the paternity test, you know, I made it very clear in my statement for everyone to remember that, as I said, there is a child at the heart of this, and we have to kind of remember that that is really the most important aspect of this entire thing, because obviously I experienced the kind of the backlash from it from the beginning. I experienced the difficult side firsthand. I got to see how people can reach their conclusion and brand you as what they want immediately. And I didn't want that to then happen all over again. Once I kind of revealed the results of the paternity test.
That's what I was just going to ask them. Like, when you got the results, what was the instant feeling? Was it like a massive weight off your shoulder? Did you feel like you wanted to get out and speak about it straight away?
Funnily enough, it wasn't. It wasn't an instant relief. I actually felt like I was going to have a massive panic attack the second I found out, because I think that's also a difficult truth about mental health, is that, you know, if something traumatic happens to you, the second that traumatic event stops, you don't then go, oh, I'm fine now. Like, everything's fine, everything's clear, like, great, I can now move on with my life. Doesn't really work like that. I think that initially, like, a lot of my friends were like, oh, well, do you want to go and grab a drink, or we'll go and do something, go and hang out nearby your house or something like that, and we can just, like, talk and that kind of thing. And I didn't. I stayed at home with my girlfriend. We stayed in that night, and I kind of just realistically tried to kind of stay calm and just have a relaxed night to the best of my ability, I think.
So was there relief, anger? Was you sad?
It was more, I would say, confusion. It was kind of not really understanding, and I guess feeling like, why did that all have to happen? Why did that have to be such?
It's the people around you who sort of are more, like you said, for you, you didn't really change straight away. You wasn't sure how you felt, but I bet the people around you, your girlfriend, your family, were more. Oh,
I mean, they were like,
for you,
they
knowing
couldn't believe
who you are.
Like, I think at that point, you know, a lot of us had kind of accepted this is probably the reality, and obviously once those results come in, that will be then when it's kind of time to figure out how life will be moving forward and what kind of is the best thing for us to do. So obviously when the result came in, it was like, I can't even begin to explain to you how it was unbelievable. But as I said, it wasn't kind of an instant kind of relief. I think it took a lot of time to process it, and it took a lot of time to really understand, and also to accept that I will never understand a lot of the things that ended up happening. I think that was also a part of the process as well.
Listen, we did actually reach out to Charlotte Chilton's representatives to offer her the chance to have a right of reply, but they declined to make a statement at this time. As this chapter of your life closes, a new chapter opens. You've got a new single. Tell us about it.
A new single, a new beard.
A new beard.
I have to keep checking there's no, like, fans blowing in my direction nearby, so it's going to whisk away. But, yes, I've got a new single called Runaway Man, which quite heavily goes into kind of my struggle with mental health and my kind of how it feels for me, like to the best of my ability. It's very, very difficult to kind of word how kind of anxiety and like severity and those kind of things feel. But you know, I did it. I tried my best, and obviously, even when I posted about my mental health, I saw such an outpour of responses from people that follow me. So obviously, this song, hopefully being able to help them would be amazing. And yeah, I've moved into a new house with my wonderful girlfriend, who's been an absolute rock for me in the last year. We've coming up to our year together. So
I bet she's so proud of this. Let's have a look at this single because I want to see how good it is. Oh, it's so lovely.
Thank you.
Do like a pop video.
Do ya?
Yeah, back in the day, it was all about the video, wasn't
it was all about the video.
I think the art of music videos has kind of fallen off a bit. I really want to bring it back. Music videos used to be like the talking point of a song. We need to bring them back.
What does your mum think of it? Because I know she had a very funny encounter with Cyndi Lauper, didn't she?
Yes. So, yeah, my mum is buzzing. I'm releasing new music, definitely, and
she'll be proud that you're on this morning.
This is like I think this is probably the pinnacle of my success, in her opinion. I don't think I've ever done anything more impressive. Although there is, as you said, one thing to go up against it. I played the lead in a Broadway show in New York a few years back.
Lovely.
Kinky Boots.
It was Kinky Boots. Yeah, I played one of the lead roles in Kinky Boots, and it was actually Cyndi Lauper who wrote the music for the musical. So it was her and her team that reached out to me originally. She literally stumbled across one of my videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so she reached out, and I was a little bit unsure at first. I ended up going to watch it, fell in love with it, agreed to do it. And I said to Cyndi Lauper, I was like, my mum is like the biggest fan of you. Like, would it be okay if you could somehow meet? And she was like, yeah, of course. My mum ended up coming over to New York over the Christmas period to watch the show, and it just turned out that Cyndi wasn't in town over Christmas, so she was unable to see her. And I obviously said, oh, Cyndi, you know, you said you're going to meet my mum. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then she sent a text to asked for my mum's number.
No.
Sent a text to my mum being like, I'm really sorry that I missed you, but I'll catch you next time. I was thinking, I mean, it's never going to happen. But, like, my mum was obviously very, very happy to have show.
That's kind of cool.
That shows what age I'm at. I get young people come to, and I go, it is me, and they go, my mum loves you. Yeah. or me nan, I'm like, all right, OK.
The thing is, I think that's sometimes an excuse, because even I get that. People's like, my mum loves you. I'm like, what? I don't know about
the beard.
Yeah.
No, exactly, it's the beard. It's changed things.
We're so happy that you can now move forward into new music, and we hope you're doing well mentally and everything like that. And thank you for joining us. The single is out now, Runaway Man, and go and download it. It's brilliant. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.